What is going on, friends, family members, co-workers, loved ones that have passed on? I like to think we're in heaven. Do you think we're being broadcast in heaven?
Yeah, everything's broadcasted in heaven.
Even like bad?
Yeah.
Do you think like our cuss words are just bleeped, or do you think like they just let it happen?
I think they let it happen, but everybody's like,
oh shit.
Yeah, they're like, you got.
Do you think? Okay. Flip side. Do you think that we're in hell too? Like, are we both?
No.
Are we in purgatory?
No, because I think God just like they'll send you to hell, and then like
you have to watch other people's podcasts.
No, I think you're just burning and miserable.
Oh, you're just miserable. You don't get to enjoy the coast to coast family.
Yeah,
is that what I'm getting?
100%.
I think that makes sense. I kind of get on board with that. Ryan, what do you think? Do you think we're in heaven? I'd like to think we're in heaven.
Like presently?
No, like our podcast is
Isn't
going
it
on.
Hard to believe we're in heaven.
I mean, yeah.
Good song. That's a quality song. Underrated.
That was a good pull by me.
Yeah, good pull. Well, regardless, let's hope that we're in heaven. I'd like to think we are. Well, welcome back, loved ones and the non-loved ones that are in heaven. This is another episode of Coast to Coast Sports. As always, I am your host, Harrison Van Tilburg. To the left of me, the Soft Baby Blues, John Witt. And behind the scene, looking absolutely like a goddamn snack.
Ooh.
Ryan Smith, you look good. The stash looks good.
Kid, you look good.
I don't appreciate you just false advertising.
What, the stash looking good?
My stash looks like shit. Hey, Ryan, your stash looks like shit.
Yeah, your stash looks like dog shit. You're literally dog water.
In general, you say I look like a snack. I think I look like a whale.
Hey, whoa. We are positive vibes only on this podcast, Ryan. I will come and smack your lips shut.
I'll gobble your, whale sushi.
Whoa, hey, yo. All right, regardless. John, before we start, is there anything you'd like to say to the people?
Yes, I do.
Don't say it. If you don't bring it up.
I'll skip that to the end, but guess what?
What?
Mount Union heads to the Stag. So let's give a round of
applause.
Give a
round for the Purple Raiders of Mount Union heading to the Stag Bowl. Good game. Nail biter.
I mean, the Mount Union scored with 31 seconds left.
I mean, I can't ask for a better game, can you?
No. I mean, Mount Union tried to blow that. They truly, like, did you watch the game?
Mm-hmm.
They truly tried to blow that game, and they pulled through.
I'm not sure what the defense was doing.
Yeah, defense was bad. Their safety just, like, let them pass them.
Like, I feel like that was the definition of will bend, not break. But they broke several times. Yeah. To me, the bend, not break defense is such a soft way to play defense. It's like playing a 2, 3, and 7th and 8th grade. Speaking of which, John and I are not coaching a basketball team this year. John's never coached basketball. I'm coaching a basketball team this year, and I figured I should give updates for that. So that's what I'm going to say when it comes to mine. But
when do games start?
I'm already 2 games in.
2 games in.
Yeah, had our second game. Ryan, you got anything to say to people before we get started?
I got 2 things to say.
Go ahead.
Shout out Ohio State Buckeyes men's basketball buzzer beater against the top 5 team in the country, Rutgers.
Yeah, fuck you, Rutgers.
Obviously are. And then second of all, shout out Indiana men's soccer for the biggest joke.
Oh, yeah.
in NCAA soccer history to a nobody program like Syracuse.
Shout out my Orange.
Wait, first of all, Syracuse was higher ranked. I think Syracuse was like the 2 seed.
They've never won a championship before in their life, so...
I don't disagree with that, but Indiana was the 13th seed. I think they overplayed their...
They lost
Indiana. Yeah, we do it.
That doesn't make you choke.
On the big
they were up
you know how it is.
You can be up in a lot of sports.
Yeah,
They're making... Hey, in theory, the better team won. The higher-ranking team won, if you want to go by that. But, I mean, Indiana definitely... It's always cool when a Big Ten team makes it.
I'm looking out for my boys from Indy.
Hey, I have a friend whose buddies play on that team. They are what you would call going through it, but they're going to get drafted, so they're okay. I'm sure they'll be okay.
I mean, this is Indiana. They do it big.
They do it
Boston
big.
On the Big Ten. They know how it is.
They know how to do that thing in Bloomingdale?
Bloomington.
Also, shout out freaking, was it Wisconsin and Ohio State volleyball not making it in the Final Four? They both lost their games to get in the Final Four for women's volleyball.
I know Ohio State.
Well, Wisconsin's more of a bigger shock than I think Ohio State. Ohio State's like a good program, but like they weren't supposed to win it all. I think it's like Texas, Wisconsin were like the 2 are the 2 favorites.
Yeah,
to win it.
I think honestly you could probably say Wisconsin was flashed in the ban.
This fucking guy. Go home. Good night, guys. We'll see you next week. Sir, well done. Good night. I guess I'll go with me. I'll talk. My thing is, I found this windbreaker at the thrift store. $4 says Buckeyes on it. Not sure why. It has 0 Buckeye colors, but I love it.
It's also brown.
It's also brown and checkered. Looks, I think, more professional. Worked to work today. Got a few compliments. No big deal. Secondly, I'm coaching a basketball team, 7th and 8th grade boys. We're 2-0. I have all-time low athleticism on the team.
But hey, 2-0.
But that's what happens when a great, excellent coach like me comes in. And back to that 2-3. We played a team this weekend that ran a 2-3 zone, and it's the softest shit. You learn nothing playing a 2-3 zone. And I understand this team probably isn't going to win if they stay in man. But at the end of the day, fucking teach them how to play man. Nobody gets better in a 2-3 zone. You just guard space. Save that shit for high school when you have a guy that's 6'7" and can dunk from the free throw line. Yeah, that's when you run fucking zone.
Look, I think the way you gotta look at this, Harrison, is hey, the best thing about being 2-0 is a chance to go 3-0.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. We're playing a tough team this week. Yeah. They've averaged 40 points every game. My team has averaged 40 points technically every game. We won like 53 to 14 or 16 our first game, and then we won 28-12 this past week. So I think our total almost average score is close enough to 40. Okay. It'll be good. We implemented the press this week.
Ooh, okay.
Gonna review it again on Thursday, but we're looking at a good start to the season. Hopefully we can cap it off with a 3-0.
Not to give that any plays, but are you running the diamond?
No, I don't. Press? I don't believe in. I run a lot of high pick and roll ball screens called Texas. You'll see it this week if our viewers are on the other team. You'll see it. Get ready because it's gonna come poke you. All right. I probably shouldn't have said that. That's I took protecting God's children.
He did.
Trust me. John was with me.
I was
in
not,
spirit.
Yeah.
But Ian was with me. But you know. All right. So let's get into the podcast. We've already rambled enough. But before we get started, we're going to talk a little bit of college football bowl talk. New Year's 6 bowls have been officially set and released. We're going to have a little bit of NFL, our second to last fantasy review. Third to last, right?
So it depends on what we want to do. Playoffs are 2 weeks.
Well, you're still going. Yeah. So it's going to be playoffs.
By the way, hey, sup, playoffs.
John's locked it up.
Won my division.
No big deal.
Love Bosa. Guys being dudes West Division champs.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out me.
Hey, 3 teams from my division came in, so I had a tough go of it.
Yeah, but the schedule was weird to where I played you guys twice, but like people in my division like once.
Huh.
So I don't know how the schedule really worked.
Yeah.
But I think it was a little more random than it was just like I'm playing dudes in my division.
All I'm saying is, John, if you win this, I'm technically won our fantasy league. How? I'm the only team that's beaten you twice.
I mean, if you want to be that guy.
I'm just saying, if we're going head to heads, I clearly have the more dominant team by 0.4 points.
Okay.
I'm just saying. That's it. Then we got baseball free agency. A little more people, a little more signings coming in. Then we got our pick'ems. Then we got our 2-minute drill. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to be quick, precise, concise, and give great advice.
Still ice.
Boom. I was going to look for another ice, and that's all I could come up with. So let's get into college bowl talk. Ryan, what do you like about these? Other than the fact that they're bowl games.
I think there's like 4 good games. There's the 2 semifinals. I think those will both be good games. Clemson versus Tennessee. Although I don't think both teams are gonna look good. It might just be like cool to see orange on 2 teams. That's about it.
Yeah.
If
they still decide to do that,
I mean,
there's no way.
Clemson's awful, and Tennessee lost their only chance of being good in their quarterback.
Is DJ Ungala already gone?
I think
he
declared. I know he's declaring for the transfer portal, right?
Yeah. So I mean, he's not. Clemson's not starting him anyways. They've kind of moved on to their other guys. So I don't think he's gonna play either way.
Okay, and then the only other game that I think would be fun to watch would be Utah Penn State. I think that'll be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama and Kansas State's up there, but I think Alabama's probably gonna just win by like 30. So.
Well, the thing with Alabama though is they have guys in the transfer portal and probably guys that are going to declare for the draft and not play. I think Kansas State's winning this ball game.
I think it's going to be the battle of who has most of the team returning. I can't imagine a whole bunch of Kansas State guys are declaring for the draft and or transfer portal. So I would say that the more stuck together team is going to win. I think you kind of saw it when Alabama had a bunch of people declare and Michigan had a bunch of people sit out against their bowl game. I think the final score was like 26 to like 18. It was like a weird score. It was a very, very low score game. And it was only a one score game until Saban scored with 30 seconds left.
It was
instead of just kneeling out, which is fine. Like I have no provocative either way. But I think like if Bryce Young, to me, like I think Bryce Young's got to sit, right?
I mean,
you're only playing for pride at this point, right?
Yeah, I feel like we would have heard of this if he was going to by now. Kansas State's also a hot ball club right now.
Yeah.
Big 12 champs. Big 12 champs. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. I think they're a good squad. I think they will actually beat Alabama whether Bryce Young is playing or not.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, when you remove Bryce Young from that, I mean, Alabama doesn't have a lot to root for. Like, I imagine Will Anderson's going to sit out. I'd have to. He's a top probably 10, 15 pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'll see him sit out. I think the underrated game is the Tulane USC game.
I agree.
I think that's the underrated one. Do I think Tulane's going to win?
Yes.
No. All right. I know John's going to go with that. Do I think Tulane's going to win? No. But I think it's going to be a competitive game, and I think it'll be a fun game. And I'd love to see Tulane win because I don't know if Caleb's going to play. I don't know if a bunch of other guys are going to potentially declare for the draft or whatnot. It's just, to me, it's one of those games. A lot of these bowl games are going to be who's going to play and who's not. I think Penn State, a lot of guys are going to play in that game. And I think Utah, a lot of guys are going to play in that game. So I think Ryan's right. I think that's going to be a really fun game. To me, Tennessee and Clemson is going to be the game of who's playing. It's a lot of guys declaring for the draft and a lot of guys declaring for the transfer portal. I think the smaller program here in the New Year's Six is definitely an advantage against the bigger programs where some guys are going to get drafted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking at this, I don't think the playoff games are really too interesting. I'm looking at the Rose Bowl. I think that's my number one here.
Which one's the Rose Bowl?
Penn State, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I just think you got Pac-12 champs, Utah. They're kind of like a bully team a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
At least out in the Pac-12, they kind of beat people down. They got a good run game. And then Penn State's just kind of been a solid team. They haven't, like, flashed too much, but they've taken care of their business. Only losses are to playoff teams. So I think Penn State's a solid team. This will just be a fun game. Rose Bowl's always beautiful. Gotta love the Rose Bowl.
Gotta have more Utah fans there than Penn State fans, right?
I'd have to imagine, but all of them also just went there last year. Kind of check that off their bucket list. So who knows?
I heard Ohio State sold out all their tickets pretty quickly, so that'll be
I heard that as well.
I will say though, I wish Ohio State would commit to like a whiteout or like a blackout, because I hate when two red teams play. Because I always like to see where does the stadium kind of sway. Like when Ohio State plays Michigan, like at Ohio State, it's gonna be obviously Ohio State fans. When it plays at Michigan, it's like probably gonna be Michigan fans. Or like when you have a bowl game where it's a neutral site game, I like to see the color divide, and I like to see who's representing the biggest, the loudest, and the most. And when you have two red teams, and they do like the sky cams, it's just like the Rose Bowl last year is a perfect example of who the fuck is there.
We knew it was more.
That's what the announcers were saying. I mean, I didn't know that. It's just cool when you can see that. Yeah. But I definitely think Ohio State's got to probably go with the grays here, right? Or the whites. I mean, the whites.
Talking about the uniforms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were the whites with the gray.
Yeah, they always wear the thick gray for the playoff games stripes. So they're wearing those. Georgia's obviously going to wear red.
Home team.
Yeah, home team. Cotton Bowl will be interesting. I actually don't think Tulane will win. But I think they'll give them a shot. I think Caleb Williams does play. And I think the Trojans do kind of pull this one out. And I think Kansas State actually does beat Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do this pick'ems obviously once it gets there, but that's just kind of a good little preview here. I think it'll be a really, really fun, because to me, outside the New Year's Six bowls, you maybe have one or two other decent bowl games that'll be kind of interesting to watch. I feel like a lot of times, especially with this playoff, and especially when the 12-team one comes, it's just going to be a lot of who the hell are these guys playing? Like a lot of freshmen, a lot of guys returning, and a lot of backups playing for like QBs and stuff that are either declaring for the draft or not. But I definitely think this will be a good slate. I think this is the year that the Big Ten or these other conferences, because like as you said, I think Kansas State can really beat Alabama. I think Clemson's probably going to beat Tennessee if I had to pick like right now, gut feeling.
I agree.
Because my guess is Tennessee's wide receiver, the guy that won the
Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, he's going to the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm assuming he's going to sit. Obviously, Hooker's injured.
Yeah.
He can't play. So I'm assuming that that's their two best weapons right there. That's going to hurt. And I'm assuming some of those defensive guys are gone as well. Utah, Penn State, I think most of both of those guys play as well. And I think Penn State probably loses that game because I think the more physical team, Penn State's 2 losses, I think lost to the more physical team. If I had to pick right now, Michigan bullied the shit out of them, and Ohio State at the end of the game ended up just bullying the shit out of them. And I think that truly shows. And I think Utah, the way that they play to that fast-paced bully, we're going to smack in the mouth around, I think that advantage goes to Utah. So if I had to pick that, I'm picking Utah right now, but well, we'll see as we get there. More people declare, more people come injured. Who's not playing, who is playing. We'll get some more information going.
Yeah, and looking at the slate, I hate that the playoffs are on New Year's Eve. I hate that. I mean, the fact that Ohio State's the 8 a.m. too sucks, or 8 p.m. sucks so bad.
New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So that's going to suck, especially because at least here in Ohio, we're getting sports gambling that midnight. And no one can gamble on this game or the Sugar Bowl with Alabama, Kansas State, or the Orange Bowl. So we'll be able to gamble on the Cotton Bowl and the Rose Bowl. I think I might make my first bet ever the Rose Bowl.
That'd be pretty dope.
I feel like that's, or I guess not ever. First legal bet in Ohio. Yeah. I've done it in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, but the first one in Ohio being the Rose Bowl, I feel like that's pretty.
Don't get me wrong. We're gonna have some sports betting parlays coming this way. Don't you guys? We'll have a pick of the week, and we'll all be pulling on it. We'll let you guys know our record.
During our pick'em section, we'll create a parlay.
Yes, we'll create a parlay every week, and it'll be a good time. But I actually love the fact that there's football games on New Year's Eve, especially during it, because personally, I think New Year's Eve, hot take, overrated as fuck. I like the fact I get to hang out with my friends. I like the fact that it is still like a party atmosphere, and I love it, but I don't drink, as most of you know. It's just not, I just don't like sitting around waiting until midnight for it. At least the football game gives me something to like watch, hang out, talk with my friends about. The Alabama game and the Michigan game is the same day as well, right? It's the 4 o'clock one.
Yeah, so it'll be noon, 4, 8.
And 8. So I personally think that the Michigan TCU game should be the last game of the day. I think the better game should go last. And if I had to look at the lines of this, I would say the Michigan TCU game's on paper probably going to be closer.
That's not what the line says.
I know it's not what the line says. I'm saying, like, if you had to guess which game's going to be closer, you would say Michigan TCU is going to be closer because you mentioned last week what Georgia team's going to show up. Is it going to be the Georgia team that struggled against Kentucky and fucking Missouri? Then I think Ohio State wins by 10. But if it's going to be the Georgia team that showed up last playoffs that was like, yeah, we lost in the SEC championship, but now we're just going to show that we're the best team that's ever been assembled, arguably, in college football. Beat Michigan down and then end up waxing Alabama in the championship game. Yeah. So I think it just depends on what team's going to show up. But I still think Ohio State's going to win if I had to pick right now. You can't have a backup quarterback throw for 300 yards on you. I'd hope to God C.J. Stroud is a better quarterback and our wide receiver room is better than LSU's backup quarterback and wide receiver room. Just what I think.
Okay.
We'll see.
I think also what came into the thought process is they might have thought JSN and Travion would play. Mm-hmm. So they maybe thought this game would be a little closer. And the line is closer. I believe Michigan. Yeah, I think it's about 6.5, 7 for the Peach Bowl. Fiesta Bowl, I believe, is about a 9.5, 10-point line in Michigan's favor. So I think in terms of lines, they did kind of get the better game second.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be an interesting one. I think a lot of it's going to depend on a lot of it I feel like it's going to depend on the aspect of if Michigan can stick true to the run game and to what they're, because obviously they're down their best player and probably one of the best players in the country this year. And Blake Corum, he's out for the year, so I think that's going to hurt them. It didn't hurt them against Ohio State really, and it didn't hurt them against Purdue. In the end, they still ended up wearing them down. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be an interesting game, but I think the TCU Michigan game will be a lot closer than people are going to give it credit for. TCU, good ball club. Let's not get twisted. They're there for a reason.
I feel like it's more Michigan's line though, because you're not really missing a beat when Donovan Edwards goes on.
You're not. It's just to me, it's like you're taking.
I think their line is the best player in the country.
Huh?
I think the line would be the better players in.
Oh yeah, Michigan definitely has the best O line. It's not even. I feel like it's not even really up for debate on that. That one guy, their center one, offensive lineman of the year and center of the year in the same day. So I mean, it is definitely a big swing for them. But it'll be interesting. I just feel like anytime you lose your best player, it's gonna make the game a little more interesting.
Hot take. I don't think Blake Corum is Michigan's best player.
Who's Michigan's best player?
Name a lineman. I think their line is that good.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I don't think anybody's arguing that.
Yeah.
But it's like you're never gonna pick a lineman as your best player. Like that one. What was that one really massive human for Alabama that didn't give up a sack his entire 4 years at Alabama? You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Like they called him the Mountain, or whatever. Like that's Alabama's best guy. You don't give up a single sack, but they're like, of course it's going to be Devontae Smith, it's going to be Jalen Waddle, it's going to be Bryce Young, it's going to be someone else. You're not going to pick a lineman. I agree. I get what you're saying, but yes, clearly I think their center, obviously, he won the best. He was the best at his position in the entire country, and was voted upon that. So I think that's fair as well. But
I don't think they're going to miss a beat with
I agree with John. In my opinion, I think. I'm probably a little more extreme than John's outlook on it. I think running backs are you could be the best running back in the fucking country.
Yeah, if you got shit O-line.
If you're dog shit, if your O-line is terrible, you're doing nothing. I think the best example of that was Ohio State versus Wisconsin in the Big Ten Championship 2014. Who was their running? Melvin Gordon, I think.
Yeah.
Was their running back?
Yeah.
The guy was probably set to win the Heisman at some point. I mean, he was out there before that game, and he held him to 5 yards.
There was an odd stretch there in the mid 10s to late 10s where Ohio State would play Wisconsin and they would just destroy their amazing running back. There's a weird trend there.
Yeah.
I don't know how
it happened with Monte Ball.
Yeah, Monte Ball. They stopped him from breaking the touchdown record. He only tied it that day. And who was it? Jonathan Taylor. They kind of bottled up.
I wouldn't say kind of. I'd say.
And whoever
what he was doing all year, 100%. I mean, look what Ohio State did against Saquon. I mean, Saquon had a good game, but I mean, his biggest play of the day was just a kickoff return. It's not like Saquon rushed for 380. You know what I mean? Ohio State's very good at keeping people in and shutting down the run game. That's no, it definitely helps when you have a good offensive line. So I think you're right in that. If you could take the worst running back in America and you give him a good, solid offensive line, you're going to give him a chance to succeed.
Look at Ohio State versus Maryland this year.
Yeah.
You had Hayden come in, hadn't played all year because Williams was hurt, Henderson was hurt. He comes in, hasn't played all year, rushes for
3 touchdowns.
Was 180 or something like that.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns, yeah.
Something like that. So
and didn't play a single down against Michigan.
And then didn't play.
I think he played.
I wonder who the hell they're going to play against Georgia. I don't know if Williams fits what they should do against Georgia.
Ryan Day did say that he expects Hayden to get more carries. He said he was going to get him in, but it didn't really fit the game flow because what's his name was running. Yeah, and I'm just
regardless, obviously hindsight's 2020. Ryan Day's the coach. He knows his team better than we do. There's probably a reason he didn't actually play, but it did surprise me. But that's kind of our little pre-game to what we're going to get to the bowl game talk. As more things roll out here and let us know as the things change. We'll keep you guys posted. But let's get to our second part, the fantasy review. Final week. Now we're heading into the playoffs. But before we get there, let's talk about our first sponsor of the podcast.
Let's talk about
our good friends at Pete Abilities is sponsoring this next part of the podcast. Shout out our friends at Pete Abilities. They are all over the map in Columbus with their food trucks. They're mobile, they're agile, and they're out. If you want to sit down and not go out in the cold weather, it is getting brisk out.
It is.
You got two options. You got 2 options. You can get your food catered to your company, your work, your birthday party, your graduation party, whatever you want for college. Some people graduate in the fall.
They do.
Our best friend did it.
He did.
He even graduated in the fall. He did. All right? Not this year, but he did. Get some catering from Pete Abilities. They'll cater your special event. You just got to call them. You got to hit them up. Or you can go to their brick and mortar store in Crooked Can in Old Hilliard, Ohio, in that facility. They've got the best food. They got a spicy bella sauce that I'm telling you will knock your socks off. Get it on the plain gyro. Personally, I wouldn't go on like the barbecue chicken. Wouldn't go on the buffalo because I feel like the buffalo drowns it out. But get it on the shawarma. Give it on the tikka masala. Give it on the gyro. It goes absolutely crazy. Give it in a rice bowl as well. I like to throw a little bit. I'm trying to lose a little LBs. Trying to lose a little bit of the LBs.
We all are.
I'll go on salad Euro meat.
Okay.
A little bit of Euro meat, spicy bella sauce. Load me up with the greens. That's what I'm going with. Keeping it light on the bella sauce because it's not the healthiest for you. But hey, what dressing is? You know
what is?
So that's just me. That's what I'm rocking right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, You know me. I always go with the buffalo chicken. I mean, it might be better than parrot tits.
I'm not saying. Hey, I'm not saying it.
And
What?
It'll knock you around like a parrot.
Hey, maybe it might.
But
Make sure to check them out.
check them out. Check their website.
They'll figure out where they're at for the day.
Figure out where they're at.
The food truck finder. All right, they'll let them know where they're at, and they'll let you know where they're at. All right, so check out our friends. We love them, and they love us.
They love us.
They love us. So be friends, tell a friend, let them know, and thank you for sponsoring this episode or this part of the podcast.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Any of you guys watch The Witcher at all?
I do not. I heard it's a great video game.
It is. Okay, what about Superman movies?
No,
Okay.
I don't do DC.
Well,
Ooh, he said
some very bad news just occurred. So, The Witcher, it's a great show.
Great
First two
show.
seasons were great.
Very
And
good.
Cavill plays The Witcher.
Yes.
Going into
Superman.
season 3 and Superman. Going into season 3, because he was told that he was going to get a larger role in upcoming Superman movies and be, cast more,
Correct.
he said he can't do The Witcher for season 3. So
Ooh.
they had to recast.
Ah.
Yeah. And so now that show is going to be terrible. And then
Are they gonna act like he's not there?
they're just going to recast as Liam Hemsworth.
Oh, hey, that's a good trade-off though.
And
It's not a bad trade-off.
No, but Henry Cavill still fits that character perfectly.
Don't disagree. Don't disagree.
Then, today, just announced about 30 minutes ago, Henry Cavill is now done as Superman.
I thought he was about to say dad.
I thought you were about to say dead, and that made me really sad.
No, I wouldn't have led with the whole shows. I would not have said that. So, now he's not Superman either, which is the only reason that he was recast in The Witcher. So, I'm very sad.
Maybe he comes back as a Witcher.
Just bad day.
Could be.
Bad day.
Maybe he's the new James Bond. That's also an option. So,
I don't know. You gotta go British dude.
I feel like you have to have a bigger cock for
He's
that.
British.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I didn't know that.
he's also a big gamer. Big gamer.
Yes, I knew he is. I knew he was that.
That's why he fits The Witcher. He's like
Yeah.
played all the games, wrote all the books. It's great.
Yeah. So since our fancy review, I'll go first because mine's pretty quick. Mine's pretty brief. I beat the shit out of my dad. I think my dad was doing what I would call being a little intelligent.
Yeah,
All right. He's got a master's in engineering.
he does.
He's no dummy. He knew that if he lost this game, he would lock up second to last place. And he also knew if he won this game, he'd lock up second to last place. So I think he just nailed it. In our league, we made it. If you got second to last place,
You get that Duke Moolah back.
you get your money back. Prevents people just giving up and mailing it in. And I thought it did pretty good. I feel like everybody reset their lineups except one guy, and the one guy came in last place.
Yeah, he did.
So this guy, so it prevents that, at least that a little bit. So I won big time. I officially locked up. What did I finish as? I finished at
fourth.
Sixth.
Fourth in your division.
Yeah, but sixth overall.
Yeah.
Like I said, the three guys above me all made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I finished sixth, one behind Dan. So him and I are playing in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes.
Dan
Dan
nice
lost.
catch. Nice catch.
I didn't catch it.
Oh, you missed it. Yeah. Dan lost a heartbreaker.
He did.
Dan needed to win to get into the playoffs, and he lost.
It was
Big time.
it was more just him looking at because he got destroyed by Cameron because
Yeah.
Cameron's been destroying people. He's been
Yeah.
on a rampage here recently.
Him accidentally drafting Jalen Hurts pisses me off so much.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And then Payne pulled it out in the last.
He pulled
Payne
it out.
had to be sweating.
Payne had to be sweating. The only reason he won, Kyler Murray goes out in the first quarter.
That's the only reason.
That is quite literally possibly the only reason he won.
Yeah. And I mean,
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than to be good.
yeah. And look, we got a little brother matchup in the first round.
It's gonna be tough for Payne to get out of
We
this.
got
he
Team
needs
Slap and Tickle versus Maze and Gamble.
he needs a Jonathan Taylor 5 touchdowns against Buffalo game for one of his guys.
Yeah,
I feel like 'cause he's going up. Because I mean, it's going to be a tough week for Payne going against the number 1 seed and the most points scored. Correct? Is he put most points scored or you?
Yeah, I was at one point, but Cameron's just been on a tear lately, so he's passed me up. But
Okay.
I've lost that reign.
So we'll see how that goes. That'll be
I am
interesting.
second though.
That we'll see how that goes. And you're second in the league, so that makes sense. Works out.
I'm actually third in the league. Second in my. I just won my division.
Oh, is that why you get the second seed?
Travis did beat me by 2 points last week. It just kind of the reason I didn't need to win last week.
Well, hey, go into your little fantasy.
I'll
Let
go
them know,
in.
let them know.
I had Chris Olave on a bye. So I put, and I usually start Chris Olave at my flex. So I put DJ Moore from the Panthers on my flex. He got hurt the first time he touched the ball.
Nice.
So I
Yeah,
lost by, he only got me 0.6 points. I lost by less than 2 points. So is what it is. I didn't need to win this game. Still, guys being dudes, West Division champs.
Yes.
No one can take that away from me.
Nobody can. They could try, damn it.
Literally no one can take it away, but I will stand firm. So I got that going for me. Played Travis again in the playoffs, so we'll see who truly is the better team this week. He's projected to beat me this week because it's a 2-week battle.
Yes.
The
question is this: do you have anybody on bye?
No, I think buys are done.
Okay, so the Colts was the last bye.
I think buys are done. I think there's 2 teams with buys this week, but it's like 2 trash teams.
Okay, cool.
So I don't think anybody really has biases. I would have to look at Payne and Cameron. I'm not seeing any buys.
I don't think I have any buys on my team.
Why does Cameron just have like 3 empty spots on his bench? 2 empty spots on his bench.
He ain't fucking dropping people. I have no buys, so
Interesting.
yeah.
I'll have to look into that and maybe pick up somebody from him. But
yeah, it'll be
and Stephon Diggs played terrible. He only got me 7 points.
Yeah.
By
well,
far
the Bills didn't play good.
Yeah, by far the least amount of points he's ever scored for me. I expect things to change. I expect to beat Travis and play Cameron in the championship, but we'll see how things go.
It'll be a fun 2 weeks.
It will be.
Fun 2 weeks.
I did beat Cameron the last time we played, so maybe I'll get that same magic going.
Got to get there first.
Yeah, got to get there first. And look, by the time
just be lucky that you're not playing me.
I would have beat you in a 2
Yeah.
In a 2-week span. I would have got you. But I do expect to play Cameron. I expect to win.
And you expect to be back to back. Well, not in our league, but just in general.
In the other league, I'm about to be back to back though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 9-3 in my other league. No one even pays attention to that league. So.
No, you don't care about that.
I didn't even pay attention to that league because I didn't know when the draft was. Like, why the fuck would I care if I didn't even draft any of these players? Then I saw him like 9-3. I was like, okay, let me at least set my lineup.
Yeah. Respect that.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how that goes. I'm officially ended 8-6. John finished the season 9-5. And Ryan finished the season flaming at 6-8. Ryan had a tough end of the year. I believe you ended on a 6-game losing streak. Yeah, 6-game losing streak. The fact that Ryan was 6-2, 2 seed, I believe, and then just lost 6 straight. Sad day. Ryan, do you want me to do your review for you, or would you like to do it?
Go ahead.
Okay, so Ryan lost. As you can tell by my stature of that. Ryan lost to the guy that gave up.
Yes.
And quit setting lineups and stuff like that. And you'd think, oh man, that's shitty, Ryan. I'm sorry. But maybe one of his guys, popped off, right? And you go, oh, let's go ahead and check. Ryan lost to a guy that left 3 guys in his starting lineup that were on buys. So that's 3 starting positions at zeros. And then had a guy that was out due to injury. So that's 4 zeros guaranteed.
One of them was a defense. It was not going to get many points anyways, but still the same.
I'm just saying, it's still 0 points. One is defense. Fair enough. But the fact that his other guy didn't play hurts. But Ryan single-handedly got beat by Kirk Cousins, Jamar Chase, and Mike Williams, who all had great games. 28 points for Jamar Chase, 23.6 for Mike, and 25 points for Kirk. Like, solid games. Solid games. Ryan on the flip side, had an entire starting team and only scored 71.38 points. And the team he went against scored 90.5. I'm just going to say this might be a worse beat than when he lost to the guy that didn't start his quarterback.
I would say 100%.
The same guy.
Yeah.
Not the same guy. You lost to my uncle.
I almost lost him.
I mean,
did I lose that?
You lost that week. Yeah, you lost 6 in a row.
Can I create a spin zone for Ryan?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, Ryan, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I mean, he is the best 2 guard in the league.
He is the best 2 guard in the league. I don't know if you checked recently.
So just think of it as losing to the best 2 guard in the league. Like, hey, I mean,
it happens. It's gonna happen to us. But that's probably the worst beat I've seen all year. The second, maybe behind one of our guys in our league who lost in one of his other leagues, not our league.
Okay.
Lost. He was winning by 2 points, and the other guy's team had played all of his players, and all he had left with his kicker, and his kicker missed 2 field goals, and he lost by a point.
That's right.
That's a rough beat. But Ryan losing to a guy that didn't start four positions is a rough beat.
That's bad.
But yeah, let's go to our little bit of a review here. Raiders-Rams absolutely lit it on fire. Baker Mayfield is now the second coming. He had a very, very good I feel like, showing for only being there for goddamn 2 days.
2 days. We got 30 likes on that tweet. Did you see that?
Yes, that was awesome. It was super dope to see that Baker, I like Baker Mayfield. I think he's kind of condescending and kind of an asshole sometimes.
Sure.
But he's got the chip on his shoulder. That's kind of who he is. That's what he's about. I never hated him for the Browns. I always thought he had like a winner's mentality where he, is kind of the rags to riches guy, was a walk-on, got cut, went to be a walk-on, then ended up winning the Heisman, ended up being a draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's got a good story. Kind of got kicked out by the Browns towards the end. I think that's more on the ownership than it is on him. I think both parties were at fault there, but we've already talked about that. But let a fourth quarter comeback. Fucked one of my pick'ems because I picked the Raiders. That's all right.
But we all did, so it
didn't hurt, but it still sucks. I'd like to see those numbers, be up.
Of course.
Jets, Bills, weird game.
Yeah.
Very weird game. The Jets, I thought the Jets were low-key going to pull it off there for a second, and then the Bills, I guess, were just the Bills. But, like, the Bills scoring 20 points just seems odd to me at this point in the season, and I just feel like Josh Allen and the boys are underperforming. Like, Josh Allen has almost as many turnovers as Matt Ryan, and nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
Everybody's shitting on Matt Ryan, like, oh, he's got all these turnovers. Well, like, Josh Allen has almost the exact amount of interceptions as Matt Ryan does.
Right. And we kind of put the Bills on a pedestal, and I think they've earned the pedestal.
Oh, for sure.
But it's not like they're really blowing teams out. They really haven't.
Yeah.
They haven't, and I just think they're more human than we expect them to be.
I don't think they're the favorites, personally, out of the AFC.
Not anymore, but they were at one point.
For sure. And I think they should have been. They definitely, like you said, earned it, but they've been looking a little more human recently.
Yeah.
Bengals-Brown, not really fun game, especially for your Browns.
Refs were bad in this game. Didn't matter, but refs were absolutely atrocious in this game.
Saw some flashes from Deshaun.
Deshaun looked better. Offensive line for the last month has been probably
second worst in
PFF.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, how much stock do you put into PFF? But they have looked bad in my eyes.
To me, it doesn't matter whether you put stock in PFF or not. If you're the second worst in something, whether it's PFF or not, like there's reasons for it. You can say the grading's kind of flawed, but at the end of the day, if they were like, oh, they're second, but it's only PFF, they're really the best, then I'm like, yeah, you can make that argument. But like, if you're bottom five, it's still bottom five.
Yeah, no, I don't put too much stock into PFF, but I have eyeballs. This offensive line has played bad the last month.
Yes. Texans, Cowboys. Texans should have beat the Cowboys, and not enough people are talking about it.
Yeah.
But the fact is, Cowboys still won, found a way to win. 10-3, looking good. Only person that they're really behind is the Eagles, I believe. NFC's looking pretty wide open. I mean, the Vikings kind of got smacked down against the Lions. Brand new Lions. They are looking good as of late. I believe they're on like a 4-game win streak.
4 or 5. Lions are hot. I mean,
no, they lost to the Bills by 3. I forgot. Yeah,
right. But that's a win.
Yeah.
Losing by the Bills by 3 is a win. So really, that's about 6 straight wins there. They've won.
I mean, they're 5 of 6.
5 of 6.
They beat the Vikings, beat the Jags, which is not that bad. Like, not a great win.
Beating all 3 of their division rivals in that 6.
Beating the Giants, beating the Bears, and beating the Packers. Like, those are all solid wins. Yes, you're not losing. You're not beating the Bills. Like, that's something you should want to do. But hey, they're playing well. They're playing good football right now.
They're sniffing around. I think they got a good shot.
They still have a chance to make it.
I think they have a real good shot at making it, and I think they're a team to look out for next year for sure if they don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
If not this year.
Jags beat the Titans, like, not by a small amount.
No.
The Titans scored 14 points in the first quarter and then didn't score until the 8th, till they scored in the fourth quarter. And that was 8 points. So, like, bad game for the Titans, especially because the Titans had a really good chance to put away the division, and now it's kind of a little bit of breathing room. Not really for anybody else because the Colts won.
Yeah.
Won the bye. It's hard to do sometimes.
Shout out you.
Eagles handled the Giants by a lot. A.J. Brown got me a lot of points. Always good. Ravens, Steelers, snooze fest.
But a big win for the Ravens. The Ravens needed that one.
Needed it. I don't think Lamar played.
He did not. Tyler Humphrey did play. Tyler Humphrey actually went out in that game. Still won. Still have the division lead for now. They are tied with the Bengals at 9-4. They beat them head to head, so they currently sit at the top spot.
Sneaky pick, John Harbaugh. Yes, John Harbaugh should be like top 4 in Coach of the Year. I feel like the Ravens have had a lot of injuries and have had not a lot of good, a lot of turmoil in the sense of they should be a lot better than what they are, and they keep winning games. I don't think don't get me wrong. Like, to me, it's
Yeah.
Eagles coach.
Matt Campbell.
Sirianni.
Or not Matt Campbell. Dan
Campbell for the Lions should be potentially up there. Obviously, Mike Daniels for the Dolphins. He should probably be in the running. He should be in the running. He should be.
Okay, I'll give you in the running.
Panthers could fuck around and still win their division because the 49ers beat the brakes off the Bucs. But the Panthers are 5-8, and they're I think they're winning their division right now.
Panthers? No.
Is it the Bucs?
It's still the Bucs. Bucs at 6-7.
Yeah, but I can't. But I think like division rankings, the Panthers have like just as many wins as the Bucs. Like it's weird.
I couldn't tell you, but I know
Panthers won against the Seahawks. Not good for the Geno brand. Geno played well,
but Geno played well.
364, 3 TDs.
3 TDs.
Look,
not a bad game. Look, Geno gonna do what Geno's
gonna do what Geno's gonna do.
He gonna cook. We only looking for the stats here, brother.
Right. Dolphins, Chargers. Chargers beat the Dolphins.
They did. 2-on is not tough day for 2-on.
Yeah.
This is the big comparison where it's like, okay, we go Tua or we go in Herbert.
Yeah.
And Herbert pulled away. You can argue Tua was hurt.
Yeah.
But huge win for the Chargers. Puts them back in the playoff race. They would have been almost eliminated if they would have lost.
Yes.
Huge for the Chargers.
Huge for the Chargers. Chargers have won a past couple, so that's definitely picked up for them.
Yeah.
Cardinal season absolutely done. Can't convince me otherwise. Patriots beat them. Scored 20 straight points.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, the Patriots were winning like 7-3 or something like that, and then scored 20 straight points and didn't give up points after that. Yeah. Cardinals definitely done. Not looking great for the brand. But that's pretty much our NFL review there. Things are gonna get spicy. We have some interesting things. Kyler Murray out for the year, ACL injury, so that's why I'm saying their season's pretty much over.
Got to see Cole McCoy though.
Got to see Cole McCoy. Always love to see Cole McCoy. Texas legend.
Got hurt in the national championship game. Would have beat Alabama.
Would have. T.Y. Hilton gets signed to the Cowboys, and I personally think that's actually a really big trade. He is a very reliable, he's definitely going to be like your second option on the team, probably. I mean, your third option behind like Gallup and Lamb.
Yeah.
Maybe actually it's probably Lamb, Pollard, then T.Y. if you want to count him as a receiving back, because he's a good receiving back.
He is. Yeah.
But T.Y. is going to be a guy that's going to get you solid, consistent production. He's going to get you open, and he's going to get you safe yards. So he's always a good check down guy. And I love him. Sad to see him. He didn't play for the Colts this year.
Yeah.
Good reason, but when you get your spine basically refused back together, it's hard to get side back.
Right.
So love that for him. But our season's winding down here. Colts playoff hopes, I'm pretty sure, are almost out the window.
Yeah. I mean, your only chance is
you have to win the division.
Titans are nosediving, but I would even still put the Jags above you if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
No offense to the Colts, I just think the Jags are a better team this year.
I have zero
offense
to it. You don't have to give me any type of offense. So do not feel bad, sir.
Can I give you a picket fence?
You could give me a picket fence. I'm trying to figure out where the standings are, but
if you go back.
Oh shit.
Yeah, hit the back button.
Back button?
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Give me 1 second.
Hit standings. Right in between NHL and NBA.
Yeah. Huh? Would you look at this? God bless America. Yeah, so the Jags moved ahead of us.
So I guess they're only a half game ahead of you. I just think the Jags are playing better ball right now.
Yeah, they're better at the football right now. But this is what I was talking about, the NFC.
Yeah.
Carolina's right there.
Division, they're both 3-1 in the division.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying,
that Saints game was huge. If the Saints would have beat the Buccaneers, they're all 5-8.
Panthers would have won, and Panthers would be leading the division too.
They'd all be, they would, but they'd all be 5-8. Right?
Yeah, so that's an interesting. So the NFL season's getting spicy here, getting spicy. We'll see how it goes. At this point, like I said, I'm not sure if I want the Colts to even make the playoffs. I think I'd rather just lose at this point.
I agree.
Better draft pick, but we'll see how it goes. Let's get to our next topic. The baseball is heating back up. Got a couple big trades. Just going to bring that up, talk about it briefly. Then we're going to get to our two pick'ems, then our 2-minute drill. Before we get there, let's talk about National Road Golf Course. National Road Golf Course, home of
the Brave.
They've got a few people. They got a few people there that are brave.
Yeah,
we know that. Look, just because it's cold out, just because it's raining, just because it's snowing, sleeting, is no reason to let your golf game slip. They've got indoor simulators that allow you to stay sharp and on top of your game through these winter months.
Absolutely, and they got the simulators. You can play in good old sunny California. You can play in Australia. You can play all over the world, and you can just play in the
I don't
golf.
think you can play in Japan and Antarctica. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
But shout out Japan.
Shout out Japan.
Antarctica, fuck you.
All my homies hate Antarctica.
All my homies hate Antarctica. But you can work on your swing. Tells you where you hit it.
How you hit it.
Gives you the speed. Can kind of calculate that a little bit. Sharpen your swing. Better your game.
And there's just no excuse to be bad when it comes to that first round in the spring.
There is.
So check out our friends at National Golf Course, just outside of West Jefferson, Ohio, off of Route 40. Set up your time and your bay today. Yeah. Thank you for sponsoring this part of the podcast. We appreciate you. We love you. We love them. Thank you.
We love them.
So Wilson Contreras' brother.
Yep.
Braves basically said, we appreciate you for all you've done for this organization as a minor leaguer, working your way up. But suck our ass. We're trading you. Trade him to the Brewers. Brewers sent a bunch of people and some other people to the A's. Then the A's sent Sean Murphy to the Braves. So now the Braves have another Oakland A because they got Matt Olson.
Yes.
So the Oakland A's have become the Oakland Braves.
The Oakland Braves.
I feel like it's a pretty big deal for them. Travis Darno, I feel like, is now going to be transitioning to that part-time catcher / DH.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can play any first base. Maybe you can throw him in there a little bit. I'm sure he can. I feel like a lot of retired catchers kind of do that.
You could probably pick it up.
Swing a little bit of both. But two big catchers going on the move. Two solid catchers going and moving to new locations. The Brewers one I thought was kind of interesting just because I'm not saying like the Brewers are like a playoff contending team, but like I feel like your weak point's not your catcher.
I feel like they are a playoff contending team. I think they are falling off from that contention though.
Well, with the playoff format now, yes, they're a playoff contending team.
But they're also one of the top in their. I would say they're one of the.
They're
top
number two.
Them and the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals have passed them now. But I mean, let's at least see some stability from the Cardinals.
I just feel like I'd rather get more bullpen help and maybe another bat in your lineup that's not a catcher.
I agree.
I feel like you want more of an everyday player that can. Pop William can play and he can hit very, very well. I'm not taking anything from William. I thought it was an odd trade. That's all. And they sent a lot of people, a decent amount of arms. Both of them did to the A's.
Yeah.
So
speaking of the Brewers as well, they traded for Owen Miller from
the Cleveland.
So
second baseman.
So that's another guy they added. I was seeing stuff from Brewers fans saying they're kind of entering a rebuild. Looks like they're picking up some guys, so I don't know.
I don't know what the rebuild would be personally. I think when you're entering a rebuild, you got to get rid of your best players. They got rid of they still have Hunter Renfroe.
Yeah.
But they still have Christian Yelich. They still got Corbin Burns. They traded Josh Hader, but they got a lot of people back for him, so that kind of worked out.
Yeah.
To me, you can't really say you're in a rebuild when you still have some of the best players at their positions. Christian Yelich, I feel like once you trade him, he's not the best at his position. Let's not get twisted.
Yeah.
Once you trade him, that's like he's like he's like holding on to your Ryan Braun. Like he was your Prince Fielder. Like he's like, oh, that's our guy.
Yeah.
Once you get rid of him, you're officially in the rebuild. It's like the Reds trading Joey Votto.
They should.
Even though the Reds are clearly in a rebuild, but
hey, they're getting there. All the guys should be coming up this year. So
hey, I'm hoping for a few of them. I got a few of their baseball cards.
Shout out Ella De La Cruz.
But Mike Zunino going to the Guards.
Yeah.
1 year, $6 million. So the Guards got their catcher, not the best catcher, obviously.
No.
Solid catcher, solid backstop. It'll be interesting to see how he splits with Austin.
Yeah, but I also think
Zeno can also DH.
He can. I think the Guards might move away from Austin a little bit as Bo Naylor develops.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bo Naylor might be the future catcher. I think Mike will kind of be the transition to Bo. And we'll see. Mike can kind of be home run or bust, so I'm not sure how much I really love this trade, but
I don't think you love it. I think it's just a solid option.
He can't be much worse than Austin Hedges, so is what it is.
Especially swinging the bat.
Yeah.
But the biggest news, the biggest one is my guy, hometown favorite, Carlos Correa, signing with the Giants for 13 years, $350 million. Carlos has always said it's not about the money; it's about the long-term protection, and he showed it here. This is only $26 million a year, pretty much AAV. So, when you look at other people that are getting paid, I mean, Justin Verlander's getting $43 million this year.
Yeah,
he's getting 26 a year for 13 years, and Carlos Correa is 27.
Yeah.
So he's going to be 40 by the time his contract ends, which is crazy to think. And that's a really, really long time to be playing baseball until you're 40, especially at a position that is demanding as shortstop. But they're moving Brandon Crawford to third.
I didn't really think about that. That's interesting.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to, right?
Yeah.
I guess you could ask Carlos to play third. That'd be weird. Why would you want a younger, more talented defensive shortstop at third? But they're definitely, I think, going to move him.
Thought they knew
maybe even move someone else to third, and then maybe put B. Crawford at second. You could also do that as well.
Yeah.
So big time for him. It's awesome because now he's in the NL. I can root for him to be successful. I was rooting for him to be successful for the Twins, except when they played the Astros.
Yeah.
But now I can actually root for him if we play him in the World Series. Like, fuck it, let's go, we ball. But it's great to see him, and he gets to be the Dodgers' worst nightmare for a lot of games a year.
Yeah,
so I'm a big fan of that.
And shout out to the Giants. You kind of felt bad for them. They were missing on a lot of picks.
Mm-hmm.
So good for the Giants. The Padres and the Dodgers are spending money like crazy, and the Giants kind of
are crazy too.
And the Mets
look for Swanson to go to the Mets.
Yeah, but I was like specifically NL West. You got your two in-state rivals spending money like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Good for the Giants. They're
good for baseball, honestly. I think when the Dodgers and the Giants are big money spending good teams. Like the last 2 years ago when they were the best two teams in baseball, arguably, that was good for baseball.
And that was a lot of fun. And I think the NL West might be the funnest race to watch because the Dodgers also lost some guys too.
Yeah.
They got some guys, but they lost some guys. And plus the Padres beat them in the playoffs last year. Yeah. So that Padres, Dodgers, Giants kind of trio there, I think will be a lot of fun to watch coming in 2023.
It'll be a ton of fun to see. But before we move on, Cubs, Red Sox. We'll do Cubs and Red Sox. Who's had the most letdown so far in this signing? Everybody frenzy. Everybody's signing.
I would have to say Cubs, just because their star catcher going to the Cardinals is brutal.
Yeah,
that's brutal. Red Sox also kind of missed out on some guys.
Everybody,
but
they signed Kenley Jansen.
But also the Yankees really haven't gotten much better.
They signed Aaron Judge. That's all they
just kept their guy.
That's all they want to do.
They kept Rizzo.
Yeah.
Overpaid. Let me think. The Rays haven't done much. The Orioles haven't done much. And the Blue Jays haven't done much. So I don't think
the Blue Jays... Whoa.
Oh, you're right.
They got Kevin Kiermaier.
They did.
And they also got Chris Bassett.
They did.
And they also signed someone else.
You're right. I forgot about the
Blue Jays are making silent moves.
That's
true. I think there's splashes, not even a little bit, but they're making moves at least.
But now like the Cardinals, and you could argue the Cardinals are still alive for Dansby Swanson.
Yeah.
So especially if Dansby Swanson goes to the Cardinals, it's 100% the Cubs.
Yeah.
It probably already is the Cubs.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go Red Sox.
Okay.
They were in the ALCS literally 2 years ago, and could have won that series, honestly.
Easily, yeah. Not easily, but yeah.
Could have won the series against the Astros. Very competitive team, and they won the World Series 4 years ago. They've done nothing, and they lost Schwarber. They're going to lose JD, and they've retained nobody.
Yeah.
And they signed a closing pitcher, which they needed.
Yeah.
But they have yet to show that Chris Sale can stay healthy for a year. They have no other really middle relievers, and now they needed to commit to bringing all the young guys up or going and spending money and getting somebody, because now you've let all these guys go. If you get Swanson, you save a little bit of it, put Trevor Story at second, or maybe even DH and put Kike in the leave Kike in the outfield, find a replacement bat to find another bat to replace JD, and you can save something. But they were criminally underperforming last year. Finished second to last in their division, if not last. No, they finished last.
Finished last, I believe.
Finished last in their division, and they're underperforming. To me, it's the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Personally, but let's get to our pick'ems. Let's move on to it. John, light us on fire.
All right, pick'ems. We're gonna start with college football. We got bowl games coming up. Cure Bowl, ranked matchup for the Cure Bowl. We got the UTSA Roadrunners taking on the Troy Trojans. Ryan, who do you have?
UTSA, baby.
If you know anything about this podcast, you know I'm a Roadrunner fan. Give me the UTSAs.
Meat, motherfuckers.
Meat. Are you meeping?
I am not. I'm going with the Troy Trojans.
Oh, you fuck.
I think they've really ended the season strong, and
How dare you?
they shocked me. I'm going with my Troy Trojans.
That's a tongue twister. I'm going with my Troy Trojans. Jesus.
My Troy Trojans.
I can't believe you. Meet till I die. Give me the next one.
Next game, we got the Fenway Bowl. Speaking of the Red Sox, we have an odd one between Cincinnati and Louisville. Both teams without their head coach. Both on the same sideline for this game.
Yeah.
In Fenway.
I might tune into it strictly for the geographical standpoint.
It's going to be odd, but Ryan, Cincinnati or Louisville?
I'm going to go Cincinnati. I think their next head coach, most likely, in my opinion, will probably be Brian Hartline.
They already got their head coach. It's who'd they get? They got their head coach.
They definitely got somebody.
It's not Brian.
Brian Hartline was theory to go there, but then he said he was going to stay with Ohio State. That was like last week or something.
Might have been when I heard it then.
Okay. I'm still going to stick with Cincy still on this. It's a weird one when you don't have both of your head coaches. I feel like it creates some turmoil, but at least Cincy's played together longer. That's my only reason I'm picking them. They play in colder games. How about that?
Yeah, I guess.
Cincy versus who?
Louisville. I mean, they're an hour apart.
Yeah, but colder games. How about that? Fuck it. That's
okay. I'm going with Louisville here. This is going to be probably the hardest bowl game to gauge this bowl season. But I'm going with Louisville. They kind of had their moments during the year. They've kind of upset some good ACC teams. So yeah, I'll stick with the Cardinals here. Wouldn't be surprised if the Bearcats win. It'll be a hard bowl game to gauge. But last bowl game for this week, we got the SMU Mustangs taking on the BYU Cougs in the New Mexico Bowl out in Albuquerque, I believe. But Ryan, who do you got?
SMU.
Harrison?
See, I think I picked SMU. And I'm sticking with it. Fuck it. SMU, we ball. I picked BYU twice this year, and they lost both of their games.
Yeah, I'm also going with SMU. I just believe they're the better team. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
I respect that.
Better team. I'm going with SMU. Transitioning to the NFL, Thursday night football. We got tomorrow night, 49ers at Seahawks. Ryan, who do you have?
49ers, Mr. Relevant.
Mr. Relevant is balling, especially. I feel like this is a trap game where you go, man, let me pick the team that's got both of their quarterbacks injured and out. There's no way they win. And then they find a way to win.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those games. But with that being said, give me Seattle. Gino's going to cook. And that's what we've said it all year. We have to stick true, right to it.
Brother, you said the only words that matter in the English language.
Gino is going to cook. And
Gino cooks. Gino cooks. Got to go with my Seahawks. Big week for me in fantasy. Gino cooks.
Facts.
All I got to say. Seahawks. Next game. There is no line for this game because this is this close. We got the Lions going to the Meadowlands, take on the Jets. Ryan, who do you have?
I'm going to go Lions, actually.
Listen, Lions, good ball club. Good ball club. They're playing the ball really, really well as of late. Go ahead, give me the Lions.
Look, say what you want to say, but the Lions bite off some kneecaps. Let me.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say the Lions bite off kneecaps. I'm going to say it. Give me the fucking Lions.
So give me the Detroit Lions. I believe they beat the Jets. Next game, we got the Titans taking on the Chargers. Ryan, who do you have?
I'm going to go Chargers.
See, now, this right here is a trap game because we were talking shit about the fucking Titans earlier this year. I mean, literally earlier this episode, and we've been saying it the past couple weeks of how poorly they've played. But yeah, give me the fucking Chargers. Herbie's going to cook. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I am also going Chargers here. Titans have just been a letdown. I mean, they've nosedived ever since that Bengals game. Mm-hmm. They've lost 3 straight. Give me the Chargers. Sunday Night Football, rematch of the tie. Let's hope they don't tie again for this pick'em. But we got Giants. We got Commanders. Ryan, who do you have?
Go Giants. I started quarterback this week.
See, this is another one. We picked them last time. I almost picked the tie here. I'm not going to lie. Can I just pick the tie? Give me the Commanders. I picked them a couple times earlier this year. It's paid off for me. Give me the Commanders.
I am also going Commanders here. I believe they're the better team. I believe they should have won last.
And Chase Young comes back this week.
Chase Young comes back this week. Give me the Commanders. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders.
Who are we? We the Commanders. Left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
Next game, Monday Night Football. Baker and the Rams going to Lambeau, taking on the Packers. Ryan, who do you have?
I'm gonna go Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to go Pack as well. Baker had his magic, but playing in Lambeau in December, never a good mix, especially when you played in warm temps all year. Give me the Pack. And the Pack's coming off a bye, too. That helps. Get a little bit healthier. Everybody like that, so.
Yeah, give me the Packers here. Look, I'm the Browns fan in the room. Baker, he has his moments. He has his letdowns. They usually follow one another. I'm going with the Packers. I believe at home they pull off the win. Packers are not out of it in terms of making the playoffs. I believe this is a must-win for the Packers. Rams are out. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point, too. Do or die.
Do or die time for the Packers.
But maybe they play loose. Rams play a little loosey-goosey. Pull off some magic.
But the Rams have nothing to lose.
Rams got nothing to lose.
Next, moving on to the World Cup. We got
the real football.
The real football. We got the third place game. We got Morocco. We got Croatia. Ryan, who do you have?
Riding with my Croatia. I picked them to win over Brazil last week. I'm going with the Croatians.
Look, I'm not going to lie. Morocco, you had a great run. I was looking forward to you, hoping you'd pull off the upset, but, you came into a powerhouse. But you gave up your first 2 goals of the year of the postseason today. So I respect that. Give me the Croatians. I think Luka's a dog, and the boys at Croatia know how to play. They were in the World Cup last time for a reason. They're in the final for the reason. Show it now. Give me the Croatians.
Yeah, I love the game of croquet, so I'm going with Croqueters. I can't pick against them.
You really can't.
If they're going to be the Croqueters. Plus, I thought Brazil was a very good team, and they beat Brazil, so I'm gonna pick Croatia. This is the championship, right?
This is the final.
The final.
The finale, some would say.
We got the last World Cup game of the year, of the four years. We got Argentina. We got France. Ryan, who do you have?
I'm going to go Argentina.
I'm going to go the Tenians. I feel like they haven't had a back-to-back World Cup winner since like the 60s, and that was our good friends, the Brazilians. So I think Messi gets his first World Cup. I think it'd be really cool if he does it too. So give me the Argentinians. Messi scores a goal and an assist. 2-1 Argentina over France. Mbappe scores a goal for France.
That's a hot take. I'm going with France. I think we get our first back-to-back winner. I've just
60s.
Since the 60s.
It's gonna be hard to do.
So I'm going with France. I just believe I picked them before and they've done well for me. I'm going with France. I got nothing else to say rather than that, and that's our last pick of the game.
Hey, I appreciate you, John.
Of course.
Ryan, let's get to that 2-minute drill, damn it.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to the fucking 2-minute drill. Let's wrap this show up on a bang. Before we get there,
Yes.
and as Ryan's getting ready, and Ryan, whenever you're ready, let me know. It was Ryan's birthday.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
And you fucking missed it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wait, I didn't miss it.
I didn't know.
It wasn't birthday last week for the pod, was it?
It was the day after. It was 2 days after.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I
You
couldn't
never
say in
texted
the
me
previous
You
one.
never texted me happy birthday.
I don't text people happy birthday. I
You
say happy birthday
asshole.
when I got in
You
and say to
said
their
every-
face. Well, yeah, when I know I'm not going to see you. I fucking said I was going to see you 4 days later.
Okay.
So, Ryan's birthday
You know
was
what-
on...
What did we
My
get?
mom, after a time, I was like, like, I don't know, sometimes Ian Harrison usually texts me happy birthday. Like, I'm not pressed about it, I don't care. But she was like, oh, you should text him, like, say, hey, you missed my birthday. I'm like, wow, I'm not going to do that.
No, I think you should have, honestly.
Yeah, be petty about it.
Yeah, fucking be mad about it.
See, I'm on the stance where, like, I'm not one who's like, oh, I can't wait to see how many people, like, wish me happy birthday.
Yeah, that's definitely a high school
agree.
thing.
Yeah,
that's definitely a
so,
high school
like,
thing.
I'm not one to be like,
It's a middle school,
Oh.
thing, honestly.
man,
It's cool to get.
I didn't get
It's
anybody
cool
to
to
wish me
shout
happy
out.
birthday today. Or like,
Yeah.
oh, this person didn't wish me happy birthday. I'm never gonna speak to them again.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm on team. I think the texting of happy birthday is cool when you know you're not gonna see him. So like when I was like at school,
Yeah.
I texted Ian like happy birthday because like I'd be at school like if that was the case or like whoever. But if I know I'm gonna see your ass, like when we were at school together, I wouldn't text Ryan like happy birthday. I fucking live with him. I'd be like, I'm gonna see him in a day or two. I'm gonna tell him, hey man, happy birthday, love you. And that in person shit to me means more.
Yeah.
So I'm not much big on the text unless I know I'm not gonna see them. That's kind of my thing. Or if I know I'm not gonna see you for like a week or two, I'll call my grandma.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, you know. I don't know when I'll see her next. You know, it could be a week or two. So I'll give her one of those. But I know I'm going to see Ryan's cute ass every Wednesday. I wanted to save it for the pod. I was going to bring it up last pod, but I was like, do you do a premature birthday? I don't know.
I don't think you do.
I don't think you do because I think that's weird, personally. And
it sets up the
thing, everything else. So I feel like you do it after. I just wanted to bring that up before the 2-minute drill.
Well,
It's Ryan's birthday 2-minute drill. I wanted to make it a special segment. So if you could throw some confetti, like the generic, like what's the, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Not the thing that goes like,
the one with the
where it like rolls out, rolls back up. If you could throw like a sound effect in that, do it. But if you can't, I respect it. But happy birthday to Ryan.
Play it on your phone.
See what I like to do is I like to even if I see him that day, I like to, if I like snap them a lot and I see the little birthday cake, I like to pull up my shirt, send him a picture of my titty, say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, and I respect that. And who doesn't love a good titty on their birthday?
Yeah.
I mean, so you know that is just me.
And my nice hairy chest.
And your nice hairy chest. So Ryan's birthday 2-minute drill. Ryan, whenever you're ready, give it to us.
Let's get this shit. So, Alex Ovechkin scores his 800th career goal. Does he catch up to Wayne Gretzky at the mark of 894?
I mean, he's an old fuck as it is. It would be really, really hard to do it. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no. It'll be interesting to see if he does. I just feel like Gretzky is the record holder for most stats in hockey. I just feel like he keeps it.
Yep.
Caleb Williams wins the Heisman this year. Is the key to winning the Heisman basically being a quarterback for Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, I mean, you had 3, and I think that's probably more than anybody else. I mean, Nick Saban has a lot of Heisman winners under him, but not all quarterbacks.
Mostly running backs.
I'm going to say no.
Finalists for that, at least.
Let's be honest, it kind of just defaulted to him this year.
Yeah,
I don't think he
100%.
really did anything special. But
Travion Henderson and Jackson Smith and Jigba both are out for the college football playoffs. Does this hurt the Buckeyes' hopes against Georgia?
I'm going to say no. I feel like nothing really changes. Travion's been a solid option, but he hasn't played consistently all year, been injured in and out of the lineup. So they clearly won without him consistently, only lost one game. The one game they lost without him, he really wasn't a factor in. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no. They have no hope anyways. And this team has no fight. And CJ Stroud is a lifeless drone.
Okay.
Couldn't agree more. All right. Our Mount Union Purple Raiders are playing the Stag Bowl. Do the boys of purple take home the Stag?
I'm going to say yes because I believe in goddamn America, and I like to think that's going to happen. Mount Union, death, taxes, Mount Union winning the Stag Bowl.
As much as I want to say yes, North Central's made the last 3 Stag Bowls. It's going to be tough to beat them. They've dominated everybody this year. This is not Mount's best team.
It's not Mount's best
It's
team.
not their best team. But give me the Purple Raiders, guys.
Let's go!
All right. Now, we got 10 seconds left. So, after I read this question, let's just count that we made it.
We made it. We made it.
But this one's kind of important, okay?
Okay.
I want to take some more time for this.
Okay. What's this about?
Rest in peace to one of the greatest football coaches of all time, Mike Leach. We missed you already.
Hey, the most, if I had to put Mike Leach, the most football guy around, he's a guy that you
He's
always...
got seen dudes, and he was that dude.
He was that dude. He's the guy you invite to the barbecue, not because he's a family member, not really because he's a family friend, but you just like him to be around.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's going to show up, bring maybe a 6-pack that he's willing to share, and he's just good to be around. Good to talk about anything.
The dude just was an all-time conversationalist. He could talk about any topic with anyone, and he'd find a way to just have an opinion, continue the conversation, and just have a good time.
Yeah.
He's the interview GOAT, in my opinion. I believe no one will ever beat him in interviews. And it really sucks because he was truly a great mind in football. Really, a lot of the offense we see today is because of Mike Leach. And he didn't do it at like an Ohio State or an Alabama. He went to Texas Tech, he went to Washington State, and he went to Mississippi State in 3 small towns.
Yeah.
In Lubbock, Pullman, and Starkville. So, shout out Mike Leach. You're a GOAT. And that 60-minute interview is an all-time video.
All-time video. And I think, personally, Mike Leach, we missed you already. Your interview of what Pac-12 mascot would win all time. What's your favorite candy for Halloween all time?
You're gonna have to ask that Harry Potter activist.
Mike Leach, you're a guy that I feel like is everybody's uncle.
Yeah.
You show up to everything, you're supportive, and you don't care what it is, but you'll be there, and you're supportive, and you're the best guy to be around. And you also gave us some of the best interview takes of all time. So, Mike, we miss you, we love you, and looking out for our good friends at State, Washington State, and Texas Tech family and friends. We're sending our love to you and to the Leach family as well. So, shout out our guy. But
one of the greatest pirates of modern.
Swing your goddamn sword.
Keep swinging your sword.
Keep swinging your sword. You're going to strike something. Well, that brings us to the end of our episode. More on a somber end. We love you, Mike. We appreciate you. John, you got anything to say to people before we let them go?
Let's go Purple Raiders. Stag Bowl, here we come. Friday night. Also, might be going to my first Browns game ever on Saturday. Never been to an NFL game. Saturday might be my first game.
Hey, shout out.
And the Browns are bringing out the white face mask.
Hey.
So
John will be tapped in.
Browns are 3-point favorites.
3-point favorites. We'll see how it goes. And Ryan, you got anything to say to people before we let you go?
Shout out Ohio State women's basketball. Ranked 3 in the country right now. So
big time. Big time.
They're balling.
Yeah, they're absolutely eating right now. And the only thing that I gotta say is, I was gonna say swing your sword, but you already brought that up.
Ah, shit! I didn't know. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'll think of something.
No, just
candy corn. Candy corn is a trash candy.
Yeah, shout out
and
to
the nerd clusters.
Clusters.
Those are new and they are good. Shout out.
So true.
So true. Shout out our friend Mike. We miss you, buddy. We love you. We'll see you next week on this episode of Coast to Coast Sports. We miss you. We'll see you. Peace.
If you're getting married, go low.
Don't.